So welcome to Orlando, my sunny state. If you were here last weekend, it was pretty rainy, so you came at a good time. So I'm Fred Yentz. I'm the CEO of Telit IoT Platforms. Just to talk to you today a little bit about an announcement we made this morning, announcing basically a business focus. We have just created a line of business that we're calling the IOT Factory Solutions. Now, many of you I've known for a very long time. The Telit IoT Platforms Group originated long ago, actually inside of IBM. We were the IBM Industrial Systems team. We then spun out of IBM in 2000 as ILS Technology, created a technology platform, one for the clean tech and semiconductor industry, which is fondly referred to as SecureWise, and another one which is more for the horizontal use cases, which we call devicewise. So we have two platforms that have been in existence and have been maturing and been deployed globally for quite some years. I tell people usually I'll say, we're a 15-year-old company with a 30-year history, right? We've got a team that's been together and we've done almost anything you can imagine in factory automation in the stack, internal and vertical integration inside the four walls, as well as collaboration and external connectivity to whether it be supply base, customers, kind of that horizontal integration. So what I'm going to talk to you today about is, one, why are we doing this? What do we see as the opportunity, and why are we really focusing on the messaging of IoT Factory Solutions? Well, in 2013, September, Telit acquired ILS Technology. Telit is a leader in the IoT enablement business. We have a bunch of different lines of business, and I'll talk through that with you and give you a sense of who Telit is. So Telit is, we do business in pretty much every major country. We have 900 employees worldwide. We're traded on the London AIM. We got beat up today like everybody did. So if you're looking at our stock, we took about a 7-8% hit today with the market fluctuation, but we're doing strong. I don't know what, IoT is actually kind of a cool place to be. I'm not sure what everybody's thinking about on Wall Street these days. We sell millions and millions of IoT cellular modules. We sell GPS, GNSS modules. So we're the hardware guys allowing people to instrument, basically, and make IoT connected things. So many of those become cost of goods sold in the manufacturing process, whether you're doing head ends for automotive. We acquired the NXP ATOP automotive business, so we service a lot of the tier 1 automotive makers as well in this space. We have I think 7 or 8 design centers globally. Boca Raton is our services and software design center. We have a couple of design centers in Italy, one in Leuven, Belgium. We have one in South Korea. We have a design center in Orange County for our GNSS business. And we just we wake up every day thinking about IoT. Now, Telit has not traditionally been focused on, quote unquote, the industrial vertical. Now, we say that our modules service the industrial space, so we don't necessarily plug into laptops and tablets. We plug into things that manufacturers and OEMs make. But I think when we put the context around Industry 4.0 or the industrial Internet of Things, it starts to have a different connotation. And it's a connotation that's a little bit more focused around the automation space, taking it to the next level. Now, we bring 3 primary pillars of technology and services to bear to these markets. The module side of the business, this is instrumentation, again, focused mostly on the cost of goods side in building products. We do have a global MVNO. who knows what, I mean, most of you probably know what an MVNO is. We resell bandwidth globally so you can come to us and connect your things. We also partner with most of the major operators globally, so you can bring your own data plans if you wish as well. And not everything we do is wireless. We have a lot of stuff. We have about $300 billion with a B dollars worth of assets connected in the semiconductor business, of which none of that is wireless. That's all in a wired space. So we're very agnostic to the modality. I joke with people and say if I could get pigeons to carry packets, we'd use pigeons too. We really don't care. And then on the IoT platform side of the business, this is really how we're taking and making use of that information. So instrumentation, kind of layer 3 connectivity, and then what the heck do you do with the data? So when we look at this thing that everybody has coined and talked about as Industry 4.0, there's a lot of steps here, and we're sitting right now in this sort of transformational time of moving these closed 4 walls, traditionally even managed by air gap in security and access, to something that's more connected. And that scares a lot of people. So it's really important, I think, to understand how things are happening. Now, you need to have best-in-class vertical integration and best-in-class horizontal integration. That's really, I think, what makes an IoT platform for industrial make sense. I don't want to put a percentage on it. I will. I'll say it. This is not fact or... Oh, sorry. I would guess that if you talk to an average industrial automation OT person, he has 80% value in doing his job in the 4 walls better, and maybe 20% value in connecting. So we're going to focus a lot on best-in-class vertical integration, which we've done for a long time. That's our devicewise in-factory product. And that's basically seen here, taking and connecting assets to applications seamlessly without programming, point, click, and configure. Very, very simple. Now, this other component, the horizontal integration, I apologize here, guys. Let me quickly turn off. So the other side of this coin is the horizontal integration. And this is where you start bringing in components of the network. And typically, you're bringing in components of a network that will connect different organizations. Not necessarily just your own remote locations, but different organizations. So when I look at different organizations, I've got connected factories. I've got the supply side coming in. Again, none of this is too new, right? We've had EDI and other things for a long, long time. We have the ability to make connected products. Shown here is a bike, but it could be anything. So now, when I look at how I connect to my products, there's some changes happening. And then how do I connect to my customers? Right, so this horizontal integration can go upstream and downstream to the distribution chain, to the customer, to the product, or the fulfillment, or the inbound side, support and delivery of assets and raw materials. So that's what a connected business is all about. But when I take and look one step further, everybody's saying, oh my gosh, this is so new. People are generally uptight about where are we at, and everybody talks about the Gartner hype curve. When I look at the Gartner hype curve, everybody says, well, where are we? Are we way up here? Are we climbing up? This industrial Internet of Things generally is scary for a lot of people. Now, a lot of people are jumping in. They have to. But let's talk about what this really means, because I think we have a really great answer for what this is all about and why we're focused on it, because I think there's near-term value to deliver to our customers, which means there's near-term value for us as a company to also gain in response to that. So, hey, automation, that revolution started back in the late 60s, the way we see it. So I'd say we're very mature on the curve there. The internet, that's not new. Al Gore did that a long time ago. It's not new. You can't survive without that today. So that's out there to the right. Take a look at wireless internet. Who landed at the airport and got an Uber car or checked in with the hotel or did something on your phone? Well, hey, that's not new. So if you take a look at this, in reality, this is not a technology problem, right? It might be if you're not from one domain or another. You go to an operator or a mobile carrier, they get pretty nervous about automation. You go to maybe an OT person, they get pretty nervous about wireless, but these technologies are relatively mature and can be optimized. So where are we really here? I think it's more of an adoption and how you apply it to your business. That's the challenge. So what are we doing about this, and why is there this drive? First of all, it gives you the opportunity to reshape your business, to create differentiable, sustainable advantages, or maybe meet comp. Maybe your competitor's doing it. Different revenue streams. I like to say if you can't save money, make money, or stay out of jail, right, i.e. compliance, you probably shouldn't deploy this stuff. This ultimately needs to have some type of a business measurable metric to be able to ultimately create and accomplish. And then the technology will ultimately answer that need. But you can't go into this without a plan for how's it going to better your business. So predictive maintenance, we hear about it, right? There's all kinds of enhanced services. Those $300 billion worth of assets in the semiconductor business, that's now all basically on performance-based service. So everybody's saving money or making money based on OEE improvements. If everybody's doing better, the boat rises and everybody makes a little more money. So it's all about creating different ways to create value. Or maybe you go into a servitization model, right? Maybe you transition some of the things you do from an OpEx towards an OpEx model, from a CapEx model. I mean, they don't own a single brick or stick. They don't own a room. They don't really own many cars. Now, they're financing cars today, but they don't really own the cars. And then, the overused and very good example is Power by the Hour by GE. So these are, just another way to think about how people are changing the way they do business. So again, I say make money, save money, or stay compliant. If you can't figure these things out, what do you do? Now, there's challenges. When I look at the customers, they might not have the right skill set. They might have some of your readers, some of the people that are out there in the market, they are experts in one or two domains. They might not be experts in that third domain. So how do you get around that? One of the things that we're doing, and we've announced in cooperation with our Industry 4.0 or Telit IOT Factory Solutions group, is we announced devicewise University. So this is a curriculum that is taught about 30 times a year. It's done in Boca Raton at our headquarters. We're launching a 4,000 square foot training center to bring people in, to immerse them in how IoT and industrial IoT can take shape. And we also take this on the road to key customers, key targets, or key geographies. Another challenge is complexity. You still have disparate technologies. While they all may be mature, you need to make sure that they connect and talk to one another. So here where we're playing is we have the devicewise platform. We have lots of ways to onboard information into the system. This way particularly has almost every automation driver you could think of going southbound or here westbound. But this talks to all Siemens, all Mitsu, all Rockwell, all Omron, all Emerson, all the protocols that the telecom guys think are so hard. The automation guys live and breathe this stuff. It speaks MQTT, and it speaks a transport layer here that's affordable over different mediums and modalities. And this is talking about interfacing into your existing applications. Over here, whether it's SAP, whether it's WebSphere, et cetera, different portals, dashboards, and ultimately connecting into other cloud services for things like big data analytics with SAP HANA or Google Cloud Platform. So this is a way that you can actually work on the business problem and not worry about integrating the technologies. The platform has integrated those for you pretty easily, and you can see a lot of this at our booth. But at the end of the day, one of the biggest challenges for a company to adopt is they need to have basically a corporate sponsor, because you're going to change some of the ways you do business. All this new data and this real-time information is going to change how your business operates a little bit. So when I was doing this presentation as a keynote last week at an IoT Evolution show, and it was a hand pointing out to the customers. But it's up to you. It's up to the customers. It's up to your readers to understand that in reality, it might be pretty good to have almost a transformational or CIOT person to think about how will this affect our business. Because it's not a technology problem. It's a business opportunity solved by very mature technologies. So what do? Our goal here is we also want to be a trusted third party. So we're putting focus organizationally on this. We have teams of people that are expert in the space, both automation as well as IoT, and we're merging them together. IoT Factory Solutions is led by a new general manager, Doobie Margalit. He's in the back of the room. He works for me. And it's a global initiative, a global effort. Sorry, Walt. I'll stay still. And we're very, very excited that this is happening today. Again, it's not that there's been the creation of new services and offerings. Our technology is robust and deployed. It's really about creating the awareness that there is, one, a trusted third party to help people navigate that business transformation, and two, introducing Telit into this mix of industrial IoT. And at the end of the day, what we ultimately want to help you achieve is we want to help you achieve connected factories, connected products, and connected customers, because in reality, we can act as a module supplier, we can act as an operator, data plan supplier, and we can act as a portal supplier. So when you really think about all these different ways we participate in the supply chain or in the service lifecycle chain of these companies, today, we've had Honda here speaking, we've got Johnson & Johnson Vistakon speaking, we've got guys coming in from American Axle. They're running their factories with devicewise here. We've got 5,000 customers that are putting these modules by the millions into things. Everything from smart bikes to smart cars to meters. We've got connectivity going and helping people connect these things globally. And we've got a platform that allows you to do it with one pane of glass in a pretty easy fashion, so that at the end of the day, you focus your key valuable resources on transforming your business, not worrying about how to make all this stuff work, but worrying about what you're going to do with this new data and make your business better. And I think the trusted third party has been a tremendous success for us in the semiconductor industry. And we've got a very long history of doing that. Our network is connected to every fab in the world, to basically every 300 mil fab. We put boundaries on that in 450, the early 450s. It's also connected to almost every major equipment maker, over 250 tool types, and it's basically driving efficiencies, and it's one common platform with all of these very fierce competitors and supply side people all on basically one trusted third party infrastructure. We think that in order for this to be done, you need to have that trusted third party infrastructure and that third party point of view. And we're very, very, very vendor neutral. We partner well with all the automation guys. We're embedded in Mitsu. We've got, embedded, in route to market mergers with guys like Siemens from a technology point of view in the CP modules. We're doing stuff and we connect with Rockwell. We've got great partnerships with guys like SAP and Oracle and IBM and Microsoft on the application sides. So at the end of the day, we don't want to reduce our total available market because we compete with a customer. We are in this area that you call basically middleware. It's infrastructure. We're really, really smart plumbers when it comes to how you connect assets and process points to your internal factory IT, and I'd say we are the world's leader in terms of all we do is connecting things remotely as well for different use cases. We keep good company. Like I said, companies like Cisco resell our stuff. Companies like SAP we partner with. Companies like Mitsubishi and Siemens and et cetera. So we focus very much, even when we did the acquisition and the deal back in 2013, we could have exited probably to an operator. We could have gone to a carrier. We could have gone maybe to an automation supplier. We could have gone maybe to an IT company. But how many of your customers and how many enterprises truly, really live in a complete homogeneous environment? Pretty much nobody anymore. They have blended automation gear. They have blended IT infrastructure. They have blended operations across geographies. At the end of the day, you need somebody kind of like Switzerland that can come in and figure out what's the best way to do this on behalf of the customer to solve their business needs and basically take them through this process. So that's what we announced. I think it's an opportunity to educate the market on how they can make improvements to their business and why and what IoT brings to them. It's not an immersion in the technology. I do a lot of conferences and talking to folks that are really an IoT vendor base, people that are doing more modules or connectivity or all the operators. And it's terrible because in general, they love to talk about the technology. Vendor communities love to talk about how their bits and bytes and gadgets are cool. But that scares the heck out of the buyer. The buyer wants a nice path to success. They want to have measured, returns. They want to have a plan that can be executed and that's predictable. And I think, again, our IoT, Factory Solutions focus will give them a place to plug in, and we can take them where they need to be. I'll stop and see if there's questions. Thank you. Sure.
Can you explain your go-to-market strategy a little bit? Are you targeting, it sounds like you're targeting end users, but I also hear potentials for OEMs and system integrators. Can you explain?
Very, very good question. So we go to market quite a few ways. We take our platform and it's deployed as a service in a branded way, actually in many mobile network operators. Swisscom offers it, Proximus, which is the former Belgacom, offers it, Verizon offers it, Telit 2 in Europe offer it. We're doing a bunch of deals right now, kind of more in the Mideast and in that area as well. There's stuff going on in APAC. So the mobile network operators are coming and offering these services to their enterprise customers. Now they just want more ARPU. They want a little more money on a transaction, not just a data plan, so they want to add value. But that's one way. Another way we do it is we go to market with key SIs. So you'll see people like the Accentures, the Tech Mahindras of the world that use this as something in their toolbox. And we also target enterprise customers that have broad needs. So we have a direct sales force that reaches out to those guys as well. The fourth and kind of the interesting way we go to market is because we're selling modules to people that make things. They're OEMs in reality, but they're also enterprises. So you might be the guy making those bikes. You might be the guy making those cool watches, whatever the thing is that they're making. We have a very early customer engagement with them because of the design cycles and the specification of their products, and they're using some of our key components for actual cost of goods sold technologies. So, good question though. There's no one good answer really for IoT. You have to do all of the above, but you have to do it smartly.
How are you differentiating yourself from other companies that use the same 1,000, 1,500 words you did in a slightly different order?
A couple things. Let's take some that have actually been acquired by people that have a PLM and an SLM plan. They aren't going to get the same cooperation from others that have PLM and SLM products. Fact. So they've limited their scope. That's fine. They're going to go deeper with some of their existing customers, but they're not going to walk in and displace SAP PM in an account for PLM or SLM kind of services. So neutrality is a big thing. Our asset gateway, the thing that was on the left that talks to the world of automation, in the world of traditionally non-connected things, is more robust, I think, than anybody in the market. We've been doing this forever. This is 30 years of hard knocks and just learning. I think the fact that we also are only in this business is a huge differentiator. You take a look at the Ciscos and the IBMs and some of these giant companies that are posting billions of dollars in IoT. A lot of that is reclassification of revenue. I mean, we wake up every day, we live, breathe, eat, sleep, and start again tomorrow thinking about how to build IoT into people's businesses. So I think it's an extreme focus, which is key. 900 people publicly traded, and also a lot of these guys, there's probably 200 platform companies out there if you had to collect the numbers. A lot of them are 3 guys and a dog. They're small. It's a gold rush. Everybody wants to put those 3 letters in front of whatever they do and pretend that it's meaningful. I'd say peel the onion back once and you'll see. We have a great architecture in terms of how you can collect, do device management, do connectivity management. It's not just APIs into a cloud database and APIs out, which about 200 of the 240, that's what they do. It's not a cloud-based database. It's so much more. In scale. We really have global scale.
I'm sorry, we've run out of time.
We'll catch up later, Bill.
Don't tell me how I kept out of jail later.
We're all wondering that.
So we'll be at the reception tonight for the open house. You can reach me at any time. You've got a copy of the release as well. We love to talk about this stuff, and hopefully it was informative. Thank you.